All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Peak to Middle School. My name is Narwhal.
My name is Kyle. I'm back.
He's back, baby.
Back from my 2-week hiatus.
He survived.
Yeah.
So,
I'm still feeling some effects of what I endured.
so for those of you who don't know, Kyle literally almost died.
Yeah.
Might be a longer episode than usual. There's a lot to discuss here.
Yeah, a lot of layers.
So, right off the bat, we're dressed up because we were going to dress up for Halloween, but we missed it, unfortunately.
Yeah, John's wearing a tiger onesie. I have no costumes, and John kind of gave me a last-second notice that we're dressing up, so I just wore my suit.
No, you're dressing up as Michael Shelby, remember?
Michael Shelby?
Or Michael
Gray.
Michael Gray from Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, I was told I look like him. I'll take it. He's a good-looking dude.
I'd say you're like a budget Michael Gray.
I'll take it.
Like, you still sort of look like him. He's pretty hot, though.
Yeah. And
You
I've
know?
also gotten Tom Holland, which is so far from what I look like.
Yeah, listen, like, I could see Michael Gray, but
Tom Holland is
you don't
not-
look like Tom Holland.
Yeah, not at all.
But hey, those are two.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Good
If someone
compliments.
said like you look like Walter White or something, or like
like,
Dwight or something, Dwight
yeah.
Schrute, like I
Yeah.
wouldn't be happy with that.
Do you think Dwight, or Rainn Wilson, I guess,
Hmm.
do you think he knows that,
He's ugly.
like, they're using me as this character partly because I just look funny,
I mean,
you know?
yeah, he doesn't look like that weird though in real life. I mean, they made him have a middle part. Like you can't look good with the middle part.
That's true. Yeah. All right. Well, let's not get too sidetracked here. The topic of today, the most important thing, is your survival story.
Right.
You've been through thick and thin in the last 14 days
Yeah.
or something. So can you just break it down? Let's start all the way back from the beginning.
Okay.
What happened?
So on Thursday, October 24th, I got my wisdom teeth out. I talked about how I was going to get my wisdom teeth out. It's supposed to be like a simple thing, like I'm going to be out for the weekend and I'll be back on Monday and be fine. So John saw me on Thursday and I watched the episode of you and Jordan. You said I was like not in the best spirits, not feeling great.
I mean, which is understandable.
Which, yeah, like I wasn't feeling great. Like my
Yeah.
face hurt, or my face was actually really numb. The first thing I noticed was like my bottom lip felt like it had like tripled in size because it was so numb.
Dude,
And it was just
you
like,
kept pointing that out like literally 20 times throughout the 2 hours I was there. You're like, dude, my lip is just so numb.
yeah.
It's so big. I'm
It was
like,
really weird. I don't know if they use extra numbing stuff or maybe I'm just not used to being numbed. But because that was my first like real surgery kind of. I've never been put under before.
really?
Yeah. It was a weird sensation. Like
Isn't
I
it-
remember them saying, like I leaned back in my chair and they had put an IV in and they said, like you're going to kind of start to get a little drowsy. We just put some medicine in. And in my head, I was like, I don't really feel that tired. And then the next thing I knew, I just woke up.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. You just disappear.
Yeah.
Were they like kind of talking you into your sleep with you? Like
Kinda.
when I've done it, they'll be like, yeah, so where did you guys go for spring break? Or what did you do on your last vacation? And then I start talking and then all of a sudden I just wake up.
If they did, I don't remember it. But I remember them saying, you're going to get a little drowsy. And I was like, all right. I don't feel that drowsy.
And then just
And
bam.
then I was just woke up
Yeah.
confused.
It's kind of cool though, because then you don't really experience any of like the shit that happens.
Well, yeah, I'm glad
during
that I
the
was
surgery.
asleep. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Because I've gotten like cavities filled, and that's not very fun when you can feel them like drilling into your mouth.
Even though they numb your mouth, but you
Yeah.
can still like feel
and
it
your head's
kind
kind of getting jerked around. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Anyways, so like I guess the first day was kind of normal. Like I was bleeding. I had to change my gauze a lot. They told me the left side is like a little more bloody, and we had to use some extra like stitching or whatever, or padding because it was bleeding a lot more.
Okay. Did you just have one on each side, or is it?
I had 4,
standard
so
to
I
have
had 2 on each side.
Okay.
I think that's standard. You said you had 6 though?
Yeah, I had 6 wisdom teeth. I don't know.
That's
I
weird.
just have way too many teeth in my mouth. But okay, so you wake up and they tell you that your left side was a little more bloody than the
Yeah.
other.
First of all, I don't remember them telling me that. I just was kind of in like a weird world. I was kind of feeling happy, having a good time.
When I got there, your mom told me something. I forget, but she's like, when Kyle woke up, you kept doing something.
Oh, I kept doing this with my lip.
Oh
my
yeah, you're
bottom
like.
lip. Yeah, I was just like kind of drugged up and whatever. Like I have a video of myself on my phone just saying, "Mom, my lip is big," and she's like, "No, it's not," and I'm just like,
Yeah, I'm
Whatever.
surprised you didn't send us more videos of you.
I don't know.
You only sent one photo, and that was like, "Hello world," like my whole face is numb. Do you remember sending that?
I don't remember sending
That's
that.
the only one you sent. You had just got in the car, and you were like, it was like a selfie, and you just said, "Hello world, I am numb."
I don't remember that. All right. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I just wasn't the type of person that just sends out a bunch of shit. Like Jordan sent out so many Snapchats when he got his out. I
Yeah.
remember. Okay. So back home, whatever. First day is kind of normal, getting your wisdom teeth out. Like I couldn't really eat much. I had some like ice cream and like a milkshake that John bought me. And then the next day, like I couldn't sleep at all that night because I was in pain.
Yeah.
Because they gave me like some big pain medicine, like hydrocodone, but I didn't really want to take it. I ended up taking it at night because I was just in so much pain.
Yeah.
But that stuff's just addictive, and I was kind of scared, so I didn't want to really take it.
So you eventually did take it.
Yeah, I
to
eventually
sleep?
took it just to sleep. I think I slept probably an hour that first night.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty awful.
Did you get up and change your gauze during the night?
Yeah, I had to change it so many times because I was still bleeding a ton, especially on the left side.
Yeah.
And then the next day was just. Next day was Friday. Yeah, I'm like losing. I lost track of days.
Friday, from what I remember, Friday night is when you
Is when
went
I
to the hospital.
Okay, so Thursday night, I kind of started feeling like I had a fever almost, and I thought I was just kind of weird because I felt like I just was so out of it that maybe I was just kind of feeling like the chills. Maybe I was cold or something. Like
Yeah.
I felt like body aches. Like I knew I had a fever, but I was just thinking maybe
Like
it's
just part of it.
yeah, or maybe I'm just kind of out of it and like I haven't been moving much, so maybe that's why I feel this way.
Okay.
And so Friday progressively got worse. I started swelling a ton on the left side of my face, and my mom gets home.
And keep in mind, when you get your wisdom teeth out, your face is already really swollen.
yeah. And,
So
my mom got home from work and looked at me, and she was just like, "Oh my God, what happened to you?"
at what point were you like, something's wrong? Like this is more than just a fever.
She felt my forehead and she's like, "Okay, I think you have a fever." Took my temperature and it was 102.7. So I had a really high fever.
What's normal?
98. Like
Okay.
102 is really high fever.
Yeah.
So my mom's like, "All right, we got to go to the doctor." And she said that there's a picture of me that I sent you that I look like Jay Leno.
Did you save the photo?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, I'll put it on the screen so people can see.
I looked so bad.
Dude, you looked like you
I
were
looked like-
about to die.
I thought I was gonna die. Like I was in so much pain. I was super hot and sweaty. Oh, I was just
You
super
said
bad.
I was shocked when you said that was the worst pain you've had in your whole life.
I think that was the most uncomfortable I've ever been in my whole life.
That's pretty crazy.
It was so bad. And then so the first thing is my mom calls it's supposed to be like a dentist that's on call for like emergencies. We call them, they don't answer. So my mom
Classic.
calls our insurance and they're like, "Okay, you need to call 911." My mom's like, "Why can't I just take him to the ER?" She's like, "You have to call 911." So my mom calls 911. They're like, "Just take him to the ER." So my mom's like, "All right." So my mom drives me to the ER and they look at me for like 5 minutes and they're like, "Yeah, you need to go to the hospital." So then
Is
I
the
go
ER different than the hospital?
to
I
wait.
thought the ER's out.
I went to urgent care, sorry.
Okay.
They were just like, "Go to the hospital." So then I went to like the
And urgent care is basically it's like a ER, but it's for like less serious
like doctor
stuff.
kind of like a regular doctor office.
Yeah,
Like I went to my regular doctor. And then they like admitted me into the hospital, but I had to wait for probably an hour in the lobby. And it was in an area my mom said like a bunch of like homeless people go there and like it's right off of Aurora if you know anything about Seattle, which is where all like the prostitutes and
It's
homeless
not a
people
good place.
It's not, no. So there is this dude in the
Why'd
lobby.
you guys go to that hospital?
It was the closest one. I don't know.
Okay.
Mom just took me there. I didn't even know where we were. I didn't know where I asked my mom yesterday what hospital we were at because I didn't even know.
You were just so out
I
of
was
it.
so out of it. I didn't care. I didn't know where I was. I just needed help.
Yeah.
So
So were you actually like losing it mentally, or like were you actually?
I was like in a state of survival. Like I was so out of it.
Like, do you remember walking into the hospital, or are there just parts that?
Yeah, no, I kind of remember walking. I don't remember really driving to the hospital.
So you weren't like blacking out.
No,
or
but I was just so out of it that I felt like a zombie. Like I felt like I was going through the motions. Plus, I hadn't eaten in like 2 days because I couldn't chew anything.
Yeah, that probably didn't help.
So I felt so out of it anyways. And so we're in the doctor's office and this homeless guy is just sleeping.
Okay.
And then I see like the security guards come in and they're like, dude, what are you doing here? You can't just like sleep in the hospital like waiting room. And then he was like starting to yell at them and swear at them, and he made this whole thing. He's like, yo, you guys are racist, blah 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 blah, like trying to kick me out. And they're like, well, okay, well, why are you here? And he's like, I'm just waiting for a ride. But like no one was coming, so I don't know. And then he was yelling at people, and there was this like other dude that was just clearly really out of it, and he kept staring at the homeless guy, and the homeless guy was yelling at him. So it was just this whole thing in the waiting room. I finally get admitted. I finally get a bed after like sitting there for an hour. We were watching like UFC on TV, and the homeless guy kept changing the channel and like moaning. He like asked us if we're watching the UFC, and we're like, no. Like, I don't care what's on TV. Look at me. Look at my face right now. And he kept changing the channel and like kept moaning. I don't know. He was a weird dude.
So it was like you and your mom, and you're just surrounded by a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah. And eventually I get a bed, and they start just like, I don't even know what they were doing to me. They were putting more needles in my arms, drawing blood. They shoved a Q-tip up my nose. Like, they were testing me for the flu because I had a fever.
Yeah.
They kind of, my mom said that if you felt my face, or if you like held your hand probably an inch or two away from my face, you could feel heat coming off of it from the left side of my face and my neck.
So was it just the left side that was like swollen?
Yeah, it was just the left side.
So the right side was basically still normal.
Right side was like healing normally. It was the left side, which was the one they said had more trauma to begin with.
Yeah.
So this left side, it had like tripled in size. I looked like Jay Leno. I couldn't raise my head because it was so swollen and painful. I couldn't turn my head or raise my head because my neck and my jaw was so swollen and painful. And yeah, I was just in the hospital. This was probably around 5 o'clock. We went to the first doctor, and I probably got into the hospital around like 7 or 8.
Okay.
And they start kind of just giving me drugs and stuff. And
like, did they know right away that something was wrong?
Yeah,
or
they
they
did.
thought you just had the flu.
No, they knew something was wrong. Nothing like this happens. Like, they looked at me and they're like, all right, dude, you're fucked up. Like, I don't know what's wrong.
So they like told you at the beginning that like something was up.
They had to, they had to test me for stuff. So I got like a CT scan. They had to send me that little tunnel thing, and they had to look and see if I had like.
Oh, you went like on the full body tunnel?
Yeah. It
oh,
was really
that's
weird.
dope.
Yeah. They had to inject the stuff. Dude, I had so many things. If you had seen my arms after I was done with the hospital, I looked like a heroin addict. Like, I had tracks all over me from all the things that were injected into my arms, like blood drawn, like bandages ripped off and leaving marks,
like
and
IVs and
so many
shit.
different IVs. They had to use like different holes from, like, 'cause I was in 3 different hospitals.
Yeah.
And then when I went into the CT scan, they put this like stuff in my blood that I think helps you like see in the CT scan, like see the results or something.
Okay.
And it makes you really warm. So I already had a fever,
and then you're
and
just
now
on
it got
fire.
even hotter, and I'm just dripping sweat in there. And they're like, try not to swallow. That's another thing.
Try not to swallow?
Yeah, I don't know why. That's another thing. I couldn't swallow well because my throat hurt. I don't know why. I don't know if it was because of the infection or because of the surgery, but my throat hurt, and I had this like little tunnel of space in my mouth that I was able to like put water into because I was so like puffy.
Yeah. But when they gave you an IV, did it make you more hydrated? Like, did you?
Not really, no.
Oh, because one time when I was on the verge of passing out, and I went to an urgent care, and like I didn't know what was wrong, and they gave me an IV, and literally within seconds, I like wasn't thirsty at all. It was so weird because like the fluids just went directly into my blood or whatever.
Well,
it was cool.
They gave me IVs. I think they did at first. Dude, I had to pee into this like. I'll get to that later, actually. So the IVs, they were mostly just putting medicine into me, but they were putting some fluids. But they told me I couldn't drink because they knew I was going to probably have surgery, so I couldn't drink or eat anything. And I was thirsty and hungry, but I couldn't eat anyways.
So at that point, they had already told you it is an infection.
Well, no.
Okay.
So they looked at. I also got an X-ray too, and I was getting wheeled around in this like gurney because I couldn't really walk. So they're wheeling me around the hospital.
Wait, in a gurney, like laying down?
Yeah, like in a bed. They were.
Why did they take you like a wheelchair?
I don't know. They probably just wanted to keep me in my bed. So I got wheeled around all around the hospital. People were like looking at me like, oh God, what's wrong with that guy? And they made me wear a mask because they thought I might have the flu, just as like a precaution, even though I clearly didn't have the flu. So I'm just that guy with the mask on, getting wheeled around the hospital.
Like a fucking zombie, dude.
Yeah, I felt like it. It was weird. And so they looked at the CT scan. And they're like, yeah, he doesn't have an infection. He doesn't have. They said like an abscess. That's what I ended up having. But they said no, we can't see anything.
Okay.
So then my on-call dentist finally, or like the surgeon finally comes. Wasn't even the guy that did the surgery. It was like the other guy. I don't know what happened to the first guy. Other guy comes and shows up. This is probably like 10 o'clock by now.
At night. On Friday.
Yeah, on Friday. And he shows up and he looks in my mouth and he has me open my mouth. I could open my mouth probably not even a centimeter. So he had to pry my mouth open to look inside, and it hurt so bad. I was like, tears were coming out of my eyes because I was in so much pain. And he was like digging around my mouth and like pushing on my like wisdom
Like how
teeth
wide?
holes.
Like open your mouth.
Like how wide could I open it?
Yeah, like can you recreate it?
I could probably do this. That literally is nothing. I couldn't do anything.
And they can't see shit if that's as far as you can
yeah,
open
so
it.
he
So it's
used his fingers and like pried my mouth open. And the whole time, I kind of felt bad for him because he knew that he was hurting me. And
yeah.
my mom said even like his face was just like really sad because he was just like injuring me.
But there's nothing.
But
you
he
can
had
do.
to look, yeah. So he was like pushing on something in my mouth, and I was like screaming.
You were screaming?
I was like, ah, like yelling because it hurt so bad. And he's like, yeah, so you have an abscess.
Which is what? Just an infection?
Just an infection, I guess.
Okay.
He said, I've never seen anything this bad happen this fast. I have no idea what happened, but this is really bad and you need emergency surgery. And I was like, okay. So then they try to rile up a team of surgeons that can do surgery on me like that night. He said this needs to happen as soon as possible.
Yeah.
They didn't really say like you're going to die, but they really implied that like this is really dangerous.
Like, so you truly thought like you could die?
I mean, if I didn't get it treated, yeah, because you see infections if they start spreading down closer to your heart.
Oh.
It was spreading down my neck. So, yeah. Then they come in and they're like prepping me for the surgery, and they're talking about how they're going to do the surgery.
Okay.
He's like, I think I can do it through your mouth and just like basically hit to drain like pus and stuff out of this.
Yeah.
Because it's like infected. And he's like, I'm like 80% sure I can do it, but if not, then I'm gonna have to cut through your neck. And I'm like, whoa, you're gonna cut through my neck and like drain me basically?
That is when you texted us that, you're like, yeah, so guys, I'm at the hospital. Like at this point, I hadn't heard from you all day, so
Yeah.
I just assumed you were just chilling at home, whatever, watching TV. And then I get a text, you're like, hey guys, I'm in the hospital and they might have to do surgery through my neck. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it all happened really fast. My poor mom was there the entire time. Like, yeah. So then they come and start prepping me for the surgery. They're like, all right, so we'll try going through your mouth. And they had me sign a waiver saying like it's okay to go through my neck if they need to. Luckily, they didn't need to go through my neck.
Thank God.
Or otherwise, I'd have just this giant scar. He's like, yeah, you'd have a permanent scar there. Like, it'd be pretty big.
That'd be kind of badass, though.
It would be kind of cool, but yeah, that would have sucked.
Yeah.
So then they're talking about how they're going to do the surgery. And this lady comes in who I think is another surgeon. And she was just so not confident. She was like, yeah, I think we can get this, like, because they have to put like a breathing tube down my mouth. They're like, we really can't open your mouth that much, but like, I think we could do it. So I guess we'll see. And I'm like, what? This is not what a surgeon should be saying.
Yeah.
You should be saying, yeah, I mean, I guess they got to be honest.
Yeah,
But
like,
I had no
freaks you out.
confidence. I was really worried. I don't know. They just,
So were they about to put you under for that, I assume?
yeah. So then they eventually, like an hour later, so probably around midnight, they did the surgery. They wheeled me out and they're like, say goodbye to your mom. And I was like, bye. thought I might never see her again. The way they explained it was, I didn't think it would be that long of a surgery, and neither did my mom. Apparently it took 3 hours, and my mom was waiting in the waiting room the whole time.
Oh my God.
Eventually they brought her in, and I remember waking up, or I remember them laying me down, and they put this mask over my face to like put me under. It was different than the first time. The first time they just put something in my arm.
So they do the breathing tube after you're already knocked out?
Yeah, they
and
like
all that
shove a
stuff?
breathing tube down my throat. And so they put this mask on. They're like, take deep breaths. And I remember them saying, Kyle, are you still there? And I was like, yep. And then next breath, don't remember anything.
All right. So then you wake up from
So
this
then I wake
surgery.
up so sweaty, like dripping sweat. Like, I've never been so sweaty in my life. I don't know what happened.
Dude, your body was probably like in so much pain
Oh, yeah, it is
subconsciously.
Pain, and my fever was like, it ended up getting up to like 102.9, I think. So, yeah, and I was like really nauseous. So I was like gagging, and
When you woke up, you were gagging?
yeah, because anesthesia can make you really nauseous,
okay.
especially if you're not supposed to have any food or anything, but like I didn't have any food in my system, so I'm like dry heaving.
Yeah.
And I'm sweating. And she gave me this tube. The like nurse gave me this tube, like at the dentist to like suck the water out of your mouth and the spit.
Oh,
little
yeah,
tubes.
yeah.
She just gave it to me, and she's like, just keep sucking the blood and saliva out of your mouth. So I'm just sitting here.
So like instead of putting gauze in, it was just
no,
like
I had
suck the blood out.
gauze, but there was more blood and more saliva coming out. So she's just like, just keep using this thing.
So I assume your whole mouth was numb again.
Whole mouth was numb again, more gauze in my mouth, and then I have this tube because I can't really swallow because it was like a ton of gauze, like just shoved in my whole cheek.
Okay.
And so I'm just like sucking this thing out of my mouth.
It's what, like 3 a.m?
It's like 3 a.m. And I remember her like telling my mom he really likes to suck the saliva out of his mouth. But in my head, I was kind of out of it. And maybe I was just doing it a lot. But I was like, you told me to do this. I don't know why you think it's so funny that I'm doing it.
I mean, it was probably, you mentioned before how if something's wrong with you, it like if anything physically is wrong,
yeah,
it's like
it
on
sucks.
your mind all the time.
Yeah.
So when she said that, you're probably like, oh my God, I have to I have to suck this.
I think, yeah, probably. But I was also noticing like I was drooling everywhere, like I was numb, just a mess. So then I'm like, I get it wheeled to another part of the hospital. I have my own room finally with like a bathroom and everything. But they kept having me, they didn't want me to move out of my bed to like go to the bathroom. So I kept peeing in this little container.
Okay. So luckily you didn't have to have a catheter.
No, I know.
That
They mentioned something about a catheter. I heard them mention it, and that like, I'm so glad they didn't put it in or anything like that. I just heard them say the word catheter, and I was
like, no.
I was like looking around, like, is this something gonna go up my no? Luckily I didn't have a catheter, to my knowledge. I might have had one when I was unconscious. I hope I didn't.
Might have been the first time something got shoved up your dick. You never know.
Could have been. They could have done anything to me and I wouldn't have known. That's kind of what's scary. Because like I woke up in a different room, sweaty, so you don't know.
Maybe they just beat the shit out of you.
It felt like they did.
Maybe the reason your recovery took so long is because they just got mad and just started punching your unconscious
dude. And
body.
Actually, my legs, still now, my legs are really sore.
Whoa!
I don't know why,
dude.
After that, my legs
beat you up.
I think it's just because I hadn't moved, for a whole day,
like muscle atrophy.
Like literally didn't even move my legs. Yeah. So.
Okay, so
now I'm in the hospital.
Okay.
Different
How long between when the surgery ends and you get your own room to when you're like going back home?
I think I got to my own room at probably 3 or 4 in the morning, and I left that night around like 9 or 10.
Okay, so you were that whole day. What? You're just kind of chilling, feeling shitty.
Yeah, in my bed. I started to kind of feel better. Like my fever went away.
Mm-hmm.
I was still pretty swollen. I had this giant ice pack over my head.
Yeah.
And eventually I stopped bleeding and I was able to eat some food. I still couldn't really open my mouth much.
Okay, so the fever went away. You stopped bleeding.
Things are getting better.
Things are sort of getting better.
Yeah. And they eventually let me out. They were just giving me all these steroids and antibiotics and a whole bunch of shit.
And at this point, it's been what, like 3 whole days since your first surgery, and you haven't eaten a goddamn thing.
No, yeah. I had some yogurt, a little bit of Jell-O,
some ice cream,
and
that's literally sugar, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. And I still couldn't really open my mouth much. Like I could barely get a spoon into my mouth.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Then eventually I leave and I'm back home, feeling awful still. Like even worse than I felt coming home from my surgery, like the first surgery.
Okay, just
awful having
in what way? Like the pain, like
just pain. Yeah, pain and not being able to move my mouth.
Yeah.
Like the right side was starting to feel a little better, but the left side was just awful, and I was still swollen.
What was worse, your desire to eat or your desire to drink liquids?
My desire to eat, because eventually I was able to drink. My throat stopped hurting after they got that surgery, so I was able to drink, but I was still pretty dehydrated. The first solid thing I tried to eat was like some pasta or some mac and cheese or something, but I had to chew it with my front teeth. because I couldn't
I
really
remember
chew with my
that.
molars, and it
Yeah.
sucked.
Did you eat like just one piece at a time?
Yeah.
And it takes like an hour.
Took me like an hour to eat like a tiny little bowl of mac and cheese, and it was just so not satisfying.
Yeah. So what was the longest you had gone without eating substantial? You kind of went like 5 days almost.
Yeah,
With no
I
food.
lost 15 pounds. I lost so much weight,
So how much did you weigh at the beginning?
like 160. I'm down to like 145. Yeah, I lost a lot of weight.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's crazy. It's probably like the lightest you've been in a long
yeah,
time.
and I had put on a bunch of weight, and I just lost all of it.
Yeah, like
so
you've been working hard to like
Yeah.
eat more and gain some weight, and then it's just like
it's all gone.
too bad.
Just gone. Just sucks.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
And then Kyle texted me and said, "Dude, my cousin has strep throat."
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So
So my cousin who's living with us has strep throat. Luckily, I didn't get it, but
just imagine.
I know. There was one day
Imagine.
where my throat kind of hurt, and I was so pissed.
I'm glad for your sake that you didn't get strep throat, but
That would be pretty funny.
it would have been a crazy story.
Yeah.
Think about how crazy it would have been if, like, you get home, you're
Start feeling
recovering,
better.
then you get strep throat. Your strep throat infects the right side of your mouth, so then you have an infected right side and strep throat.
Dude, it was so bad. Like, I said to John before we recorded, it feels weird to smile. Like the left side of my face, there's still like a big knot here. I can feel it. I still can't chew on this side. I can eat real food, but I just have to chew on the right side and like eat pretty slow. Like I can still feel all the stitches and stuff in my mouth, and like it kind of hurts.
So the stitches aren't gone yet.
No, they haven't dissolved. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, it feels weird to smile. So like I was laughing probably like 3 days after my surgery, and I realized that was the first time I had smiled in probably like 3 or 4 days,
Yeah,
which is so sad. Like I hadn't smiled for 3 days,
yeah,
and it hurt so bad. And I was laughing because of how shitty my situation was.
yeah.
I was just like, I can't eat food. I'm like trying to eat mashed potatoes, and I just have to eat them so slow.
Yeah. So then you told me that after you were back home, then you had to eventually go back in to see if you needed a third surgery.
Yeah. And that's when they measured my mouth, and it was 11 millimeters. I could open my mouth.
11 millimeters.
So if you do the math, that is 1.1 centimeters.
That's pretty good, dude.
Yeah. So it's better now. I can do, if you're watching on YouTube, this is how far I can open my mouth.
Nice.
Is that a lot?
No,
Oh,
not
well.
really.
They told me to do like stretches for my mouth. So I have to do this.
Just push.
You just push my mouth open to stretch
Yeah.
it. It kind of hurts, but I have to do it. Yeah. So I'm on the road to recovery.
Yeah.
Things have gotten a lot better. I told my mom, like, I would never wish this upon my worst enemy.
Whoa.
Like, the shit that I went through on, like, Friday, it was probably one of the worst days of my life. Like, I was sad. I was mad. I was
In pain.
tired. I was in pain. I was hungry and thirsty. Like, everything bad is what I was feeling.
Wow.
So bored, too. Just sitting in my hotel. The first one, I didn't watch any TV because I couldn't lift the TV was super high up, and I couldn't lift my head up. So I couldn't watch TV, so I was so bored. Not allowed to drink water and eat food, just sitting there in pain.
I knew the moment I knew Kyle was in a lot of pain or just like hating his life was when whenever in our group chats or even just when I'm texting Kyle one-on-one, I'll do things like I'll send annoying texts on purpose.
You really pissed me off. Yeah, you really pissed me off.
And so I was really trying to piss him off. And usually if I text him and I'm trying to piss him off, even if he'll get pissed off, he'll respond with like a sassy remark.
Yeah.
He just didn't even respond.
Let me find it.
One time I was like, hey man, look on the bright side. Things could be worse.
Let me find it. There was one that made me so mad. Oh, okay. This was so dumb. This was one of them. He said, "How's it going, boys?" And I said, "Bad," which was the truth. I was doing bad. This was on Sunday.
This was to you and Jordan.
Yeah. He said, "Kyle, life is all about perspective." And I said, "That's correct. But there is no perspective in which this is a good situation."
But there kind of is.
Yeah. Then you hit me back with, "It's better than being dead or having brain cancer."
See?
And I said, "Actually, the only positive here is that it's the best weekend of the year to sit on the couch and watch TV because there's football, basketball, and the World Series." And you said, "Exactly." And I said, "But yeah, it fucking sucks. I'm starving." And you said, "Just eat forehead."
Yeah, just eat forehead. you wouldn't get it. It's a gamer term, but
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you're too hot. Just cool down, forehead. Like, it's like, oh,
Forehead?
it's just like forehead is like you're saying something that clearly is stupid, or like it's like you can't do it right now, but it's like, oh, just do it. Like, just do it. So
See,
it's like,
I didn't know that gamer term. Ooh,
so like,
forehead.
for example, if you're like my throat really hurts, I'd be like, dude, just eat a throat lozenge, forehead. You know?
Okay. See, I thought you were saying to like eat like a forehead, and I was like, that is so dumb. And then I said, what, John? And you said, just eat forehead.
Yeah.
And then I said forehead, and then you didn't respond, and that pissed me off.
Because I didn't. I was like, he should know, or he should figure it out. Like, I guarantee you could look up what does forehead mean,
I didn't want to.
and you could figure it out.
I really didn't want to. There was one other thing.
There was one where I think you were more annoyed.
There was,
than
yeah.
that
I'm
one.
trying to find it.
Well, we can't find the other one, but I know there was one that I sent, and you were really
It
mad.
pissed me off. But I guess I kind of deserve it because I sent annoying texts when you were stuck in the airport. But I would rather be stuck in the airport and deal with what you dealt with than what I dealt with.
Kyle, you don't know what I went through.
Oh yeah, you're like your life was
don't.
so hard.
Kyle,
in the
life
airport.
is about perspective, man.
Okay.
Yeah, you were at home. I was stuck in an
Oh,
unknown area with
John.
strangers.
Oh,
Your mouth hurt a
yeah.
little bit?
Yeah, it
oh,
fucking
I'm
did.
sorry.
Yeah, I lost 15 pounds.
Oh,
Yeah.
you just eat. You should have just ate some food.
Yeah,
and then
you're
you would've
right. I
lost
should have
the
just
weight.
reinfected my mouth. Yeah.
Reinfected it?
I don't know. So to this day, we still don't know what happened to my mouth. Like
You got
why?
an infection.
No. Yeah, I got an infection, but I don't know why.
I mean, I think
I
that's
followed-
like happens to people though.
Yeah, but
that's
like
like
I
a known
followed
thing.
all their directions. And what also really pissed me off was when I went to see the surgeon, the first surgeon, like after I got out of the hospital to see if I needed another surgery. They were just like checking in on me, and he like the first thing he says is, "So, what do we think happened?" I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I got infected. He's like, yeah. Like, do you think there's any reason for that? I'm like, dude, I followed all your directions. I took all my medications. I don't know. He goes, yeah, I guess it just happens sometimes. And in my head,
It
I'm
does.
like, yeah, it does. But like, he was like
Just the way
accusing
he's-
me of like doing something wrong. I'm like, maybe
Yeah.
you infected me.
How would he infect you?
Maybe he like didn't do it right, or like,
Oh, you went back to your original
yeah,
guy who did your wisdom teeth?
yeah.
Oh, not the
So
hospital.
there were two different surgeons. There was like the guy that did my wisdom teeth, and then there's the guy that did the second surgery.
Oh,
I went back to the first guy,
yeah.
and then I had to go back again recently, like on Wednesday. So I was
4 separate times you were in a place.
yes,
The original,
Yeah.
the surgery, the checkup, and the last checkup.
yeah, and they basically told me like, this is gonna be a really slow recovery. He's like, maybe in 2 weeks you'll be at 90%. So
I mean, it's been less than 2 weeks, and
no,
you're better
from that
now.
surgery. No, 2 weeks from that day, and that was probably on Monday. So it's been 1 week
Okay.
since then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably about like 65%,
Okay.
70%.
There you go.
So it's getting better. I was down to probably like 9%. Like it was low.
9? I'd say you looked like you
Literally
were at like
zero.
6.5.
Yeah, no, there was no percentage. I was 0. Like I was not a person. I couldn't eat, couldn't open my mouth. I couldn't really talk. Another thing that pissed me off, they called me on the phone to ask how I was doing, which like I guess you got to do that, but I couldn't talk. This was like the day after the surgery, and it was starting to get really bad. And she was just kind of asking me like, "Oh, how is everything?" And I should have told her I think I have a fever, but I guess I just didn't really think I did. I don't know. And I was trying to talk to her, and she kept being like, what are you saying? And I was like, my mouth really hurts. It was so frustrating trying to communicate with people and like in the hospital, and they were asking me to like clarify things, and like, sucked.
Well, here we are.
So here we are.
You're looking fresh,
Yeah.
dressed up.
Down low, I'm wearing shorts. I'm not wearing pants. So
Yeah. That should
You
be
know.
a style though.
business up top, party down low.
I had some like follow-up questions.
Okay.
So one, this is like kind of like a hypothetical that I needed to know, and I almost wished that it would happen to you, so that I would know how it works. But
Catheters.
No.
No.
What happens if you get wisdom teeth surgery? Then you get home and you immediately get like food poisoning or something. Then you start throwing. How horrible.
I
Like,
know, dude. When I
like-
was gagging, I thought I was gonna throw up, and I was like,
I mean,
this
but
is
you had
gonna-
no food to throw up.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, if for some reason you had like enough food to actually throw up, one, that's got to be like the worst combo ever and like horrible pain. But then two, that's like guaranteed to get infected if puke mixes with like your all your cuts in your mouth.
Oh, yeah, that would hurt really bad.
So I was just thinking, I don't know, that would be terrible. Two,
It's not uncommon though. People, because
Puke?
anesthesia can make
Oh.
you. Yeah.
dude. And then like I feel like then all the stitching up they did probably goes to waste because if you're puking, it probably ruins like a lot of the
Yeah.
like the stitches and stuff.
Oh, God.
But then this one kept me up at night. I couldn't wrap my head around it. What happens to all the teeth? Where do doctors' offices and dentists, when
What do
they
they do
pull
with the
teeth and organs and like they take your spleen out?
Well,
Where do all these things go?
that's a good question. I think
there-
they send them in to get them like looked at, by like a
Teeth?
cancer. Like if you get a mole removed, like I've gotten a mole removed on my neck, and they
Okay.
send it in to see if it was like cancerous.
Okay,
But then after that, I don't know.
there's got to be a
Are they
graveyard somewhere of just like
Or are they keeping them?
where
Building Frankenstein or something.
so you, like I'm just
They
do
got enough
do
teeth. They got
just have
4 of mine. 6
buckets?
of yours. That's 10
exactly.
teeth.
No, but they gave me mine, I think.
What?
I think I got my wisdom teeth back as like
Wow.
a souvenir.
Why'd you want them?
I don't know. I kind of remember getting them though. I don't know, but like where do they go? Where do they just throw them in the regular trash can and they go to the regular dump, or do they go in like a big jar of like teeth in this bin,
Probably like a
spleens
barrel.
in this bin?
Like a barrel of like
You think it's like sealed
heart,
shut
like a
and
heart
like
barrel.
with a little contaminated
Yeah.
icon?
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
like
could look it up, but
I mean that's not as fun.
it's not as fun. Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't-
so if anybody works at a hospital and knows where they do with like old hearts or
old hearts.
like if you get a
it's old heart.
get a transplant,
Yeah.
it's got to go somewhere,
Right.
you know?
That's amazing that they can take someone else's heart and put it in you and it works.
And that your body is just smart enough to be like, "Oh, yeah, this works."
Yeah.
You know?
It's pretty amazing. But I know you can like reject it. Like your body can reject it.
Yeah. And I think if you get a heart transplant, you have to take a shit ton of meds for the rest
Yeah.
of your life to
Yeah.
like make sure it continues to accept it.
Damn.
All right, I had some other questions too.
Okay. Fire away.
When you were starving,
Yeah.
what was the one like what did you wish you could eat?
There was like different phases.
What was the cravings?
There was different phases. The main thing was pizza.
Okay.
Like I just wanted a pizza in my face or like a burger.
Yeah. Cuz I feel like this was the closest that you would ever get to pregnancy cravings.
Yeah, probably.
And so this is kind
This
of
is
a
the
good
closest I'll ever be
insight.
pregnant.
Yeah.
being pregnant. Yeah.
So this is a good insight into what you would want if you're
Yeah.
pregnant. So
Pizza,
what type?
pepperoni.
Ooh, some good pepperoni.
Like I just wanted something greasy in my face. Like
Yeah.
first of all, I just wanted food I could chew. I was so tired of eating mush. I was eating Jello, ice cream, yogurt,
yeah.
mashed potatoes, refried beans.
I mean,
like-
refried beans are pretty good.
Yeah, they're really good, but when that's your main meal,
It's not.
it's not good.
Dude, but there's old people, like my grandma, she like has fake teeth now and she can't really eat real
I would
food.
Be so sad.
For years, she's just eaten like really soft stuff.
Applesauce.
Well, I mean, she can eat like if it's like anything that's just soft. Like she can eat real food, but it has to be soft. Like it can't
How
be
do you
really
lose
really
all your
crunchy.
teeth?
She just was always poor and like they all
Mm.
kind of got like rotten, I think. So now she has like fake teeth, but
That's incentive to brush your teeth.
it is, and to go to the dentist. But like, dude, she's been doing that shit for years, and I'm like, imagine only getting to eat this limited selection of food everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Like you always got to look at the menu and be like, can't have this shrimp, can't
But-
have this fries.
But at least she could have whatever she wanted, kind of,
within her,
and have as much as she wanted. I was so limited. Like, I wouldn't get full. I would just get tired of trying to eat, and I would just stop.
yeah,
Like, I would have wanted a whole bowl of mashed potatoes just in my face, but I had to eat them so slow. I just got sick of trying to open my mouth enough to get a spoon inside.
Yeah.
I gave up. So yeah, I felt so out of it. Like I can't even explain. Like I would stand up and just have tunnel vision, and like I was lightheaded, and I just felt so bad. I've never felt that shitty in my
Yeah.
life.
One day I texted Kyle. I'm like, hey, you want to play Fortnite? He's like, honestly, I can't even see, so no. He's like, I'm too
man.
dizzy.
Yeah. And you asked me to drive you home, and I was like, I think I might die.
Yeah, I mentioned it last episode, but I went to a party at UW, which is kind of near Kyle's house, and I was like, hey, you think maybe the day after you could give me a ride home because I don't know if I'll have my car? And he's like, honestly, no, because I don't even feel safe driving.
This was my first time driving in like a week and a half.
Was this your first time going anywhere?
Yeah. Well, my mom. I went to the doctor.
Yeah,
went to the hospital, a couple of different doctors, and a restaurant with my mom to pick up food because I wanted to leave the house.
Nice.
So.
Wow. Well, there you go. So that's kind of the epic story. About 50 minutes long.
Yeah. My advice here is if you're getting your wisdom teeth out or if you're getting any sort of surgery and you feel like you might have a fever, you should get that looked at.
Yeah.
Like, don't wait until your mom gets home.
Do you think some of it could have been avoided if you somehow got it?
Well, no.
Like
I would have had to get surgery anyways.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But like I just felt I could have maybe avoided
the
feeling
pain.
as bad as I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you, if you could go back, would you not have, like, if you could just go back and
told my
not
mom.
have got your wisdom teeth out in the first place, would you have done that?
That's what I told my mom. I was like, they didn't even hurt. I could have just not gotten them out and wait till they hurt maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe I've gone to some different surgeon. I don't know if they messed up something, but
There were a few times when you did say that you thought your mouth was hurting because of your wisdom teeth, though, right?
yeah, but it wasn't nearly as bad as this. Like, dude, this sucked.
Yeah. Well, hey, now
Now
at least
it's a good story.
At least it's you got a good story out of it. We got a whole episode of the podcast out of it.
Yeah.
And now you don't have to get your wisdom teeth out.
Yeah, it's true. Unless like somehow I sprout 4 more. I think I would just let him rock.
Yeah, for sure.
But shout out to my mom. She was the biggest trooper ever. She took me to the hospital she was with the hospital with me from like 5 until like 4 or 5 in the morning, and then slept a little bit, and then came back and was with me the whole next day. And she said that she didn't want to go to the bathroom during my surgery because she didn't want to like go to the bathroom and then they run out and she's not there.
Yeah.
So she held, like she had to pee really bad and she held it
for 3 hours.
For 3 hours.
Oh my god.
And then she was with me, and then she like slept for a little bit, came back, brought a bunch of stuff. And then my cousin got sick and she had to take her to the ER. And she had to like make sure she was taking her medication and everything, and she was taking
Was
care
she
of.
still like trying to go to work too between all of this shit happening?
Well, luckily it was over the weekend when I was in the hospital.
But like then she had to go back to work.
Yeah, she eventually ended up going back to work, but I think she
must have been so tired.
Dude, yeah.
Wow. Shout out to your mom. An absolute legend.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's great.
All right. Well, that's the story of Kyle's survival. You know, crazy situation, but he's here now. And you guys you were crying. You guys were in bed listening to the episodes with
Probably.
Shim.
Like,
And you're
oh, God, I can't stand his voice.
The stupid Asian guy.
Well,
I mean, objectively,
he is dumb.
he is a dumb
Asian
person. He is Asian, and he is a guy.
so-
So, you know.
Let's avoid a hate crime, though.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't think you were with us, but tell me if you were. Were you there when Shim and I mean, I don't know if it was all 3 of us or just me and Shim, but we went to 7-Eleven and there was this random girl in there.
What?
Does that ring a bell?
Random girl.
Okay.
Wait.
You weren't there then because you would remember. So I think this was like the night you were getting your surgery or something. Shim and I hung out, or over the weekend, Shim came over one day and we were just kind of chilling.
Well, I haven't seen you since Thursday.
Yeah.
So,
No, I know. So
if it happened between them.
I know. I just didn't know if it was like before the surgery.
Okay.
So you're at home in pain and I'm bored here. I have nothing to work on. I got to head on the podcast.
Oh, boo-hoo.
So I'm like,
Poor guy.
all right.
He's bored, guys.
Yeah. So I'm like, hey, Shim, you want to come over? And he's like, yeah, sure. So I helped him on his website for a little bit. And then we watched some football. And then I was like, hey, do you want to watch the El Camino movie? The Breaking Bad movie. He's like, yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Wait, let me guess. Jordan wanted to get candy or Slurpees.
He wanted to get candy. So then we drove to 7-Eleven, and we get there and we're just kind of like chilling. It took us a long time to decide our candies. I know, at least for Shim, he's pretty decisive on what he wants, and he always goes for the sour or like fruity stuff, which if I'm getting candy, there's like a 10% chance I'm getting something fruity flavored. I'm almost always going to go with sweet, like
Depends on my vibe.
chocolatey, but that's just because I'm obsessed with chocolate. But anyways, we hear this girl like fumbling around with like shit in the couple aisles over. Like she was just making a lot of noise, like taking stuff off and then putting stuff back on. And like we saw her when we came in, and it was probably a 10-year-old girl or something.
Okay.
And then as we're looking for stuff, I hear her go up to the lady at the counter, and she's like, "Hey, could you spare $2 for this?" Like to the lady working at the register.
Is this like a little girl by herself?
Yeah. She's just by herself
In a 7-Eleven
in a
at night?
7-Eleven at like 11. It was probably 10:30 at night. And she goes up. She's like, she was kind of being annoying. And she was like, "Can you please spare like $2 on this? Because I don't have enough." And she was just like really fast paced. I don't know what the first thing was. And the lady's like, "No, I can't." And the lady was just not having it. And then, so she goes back to the aisle and then is making more noise. And then she yells at the lady at the counter. She's like, "What does Icy Hot do?" And she just like was so aggressive with this lady. And the lady's like, she's like, "Oh, blah, blah. Like, I don't know, something with your muscles." And she's like, "Oh, so can I use it?" And she was just yelling. And the lady at the counter is like, "I don't know. Like, you have to ask your mom." So, because at the beginning, Shim and I kind of thought like maybe this girl is the daughter of the lady working at the counter, and maybe she didn't have like a babysitter, so she just brought her to work and was like,
Okay.
like hang out while I'm working. But we quickly realized that it was not her mom, because the lady's like, "You'd have to ask your mom."
Oh.
So then we go and check out. It was at least 7 minutes that we were in there. And then we check out, and this girl is still just like looking. It was the aisle that has like Band-Aids and like ointment and
She was just looking for some ointment.
And she was just like so curious. I don't, and I think she had like $3, and she was just trying to find like, what could I buy with this $3? And so
Do you know what she ended up buying?
We have no clue to this
Wow.
day. And we left, and we just kind of sat there, and from our car, you could see this girl because she was in the first aisle. So we were kind of like sitting there, like maybe this next lady that's about to walk in is her mom, but it wasn't. It was just another random lady. So I don't know what this girl was doing there. She had to have been
I
like
have a lot of questions.
10 years old or younger. So
What?
I mean, fortunately, we were in like a good area. It's not like she's gonna get like abducted or something. But
I mean, but like, what is she doing in a 7-Eleven that late,
with,
looking at
like,
Icy Hot?
$3. I don't know, man.
Can I get Icy Hot?
I just had to bring it up because
That's really weird.
Yeah. So we're moving on to the segments for this is a legendary episode. Like, this episode will go down as, I already know it's gonna be titled "Kyle Almost Died" in all caps.
Yeah.
And it's good
true.
clickbait. And I think it'll get a lot of plays because you've been gone, and people are like, "Whoa, what happened to
Kyle
him?"
almost died. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so hopping into the segments here. For those of you who don't know or are new, we have an A and F of the week. We have "Could You Kill Me With?" and we have a word of the day. So, Kyle, who's your A this week?
My A
what?
this week are rats.
Okay.
So scientists have trained rats to drive tiny cars.
So for what?
Science. So basically, like, from what I understand, I've had this happened like a while ago. I had this from before, back when I thought I was going to be able to record an episode last week. So, like, I guess if they put their paws on this, like, little certain bar, it, like, completes the circuit and the car drives. And I think they tempt them with food. Like, if they put their paws there, then they give them food.
Oh,
it's like
so they don't even steer anything?
It's like Pavlov. See, I don't know. I don't think there's any steering going on.
Well, that's stupid.
But hey, dude, imagine you see a little rat like this in a little moving car.
But that doesn't count as, like, driving. All
Yeah,
that's doing is pressing a button.
You're driving. They're driving their car.
But these stupid rats are just pressing a fucking button and the car is moving.
No, they're putting their paws on a bar. They're completing the circuit.
What do you mean completing the circuit? Like,
I don't know. That's what it said.
I don't know. It would be way cooler if like
If they were like steering and
like one paw is using the gas, the other paw is like
shifting gears. Just sitting back.
like little miniature NASCAR. They got like goggles on.
That would be way cooler, but no. This is as far, maybe someday.
Yeah.
Maybe if they like teach them to drive a certain course, and if they turn right now, then they'll give them food.
Yeah.
You know, so then they just learn. So Pavlov's thing.
That's the whole thing where like
Dogs slobbering.
you just teach them one thing over and over and over.
Yeah, it's like the first thing you learn in psychology, basically.
Yeah. You know what's weird is that dog fighting is obviously illegal and like morally fucked up.
Yeah.
But if there was betting on rats fighting each other, no one would give a shit. Unless you're like hardcore PETA. But like, let's say
I wouldn't want to see that.
Oh, dude, I would.
I wouldn't. I don't want to see any animals
if
fighting
I could
each other.
make money in it.
No.
But like,
I wouldn't want to do that. Or like cockfighting, like chickens.
Is that a thing?
Cockfighting?
Cockfighting.
I think so.
But like, I would not feel bad killing a rat.
I would.
Really?
Unless it's like attacking me and I'm like stomp on it or something, but
oh, dude, I have such a good story about a rat. My dad was in.
Your dad would fuck up a rat. I already know your dad.
Dude, this is the most Steve story of all time.
Wait, never mind.
So,
I think I might know the story.
Did he tell you?
I don't know.
I don't think this happened just like last week.
Okay, never mind.
So my parents have a place in Palm Springs that they'll go like vacation to every once in a while. And my mom and dad went down there and they were there for like a week, and then they came back, and the first thing my dad tells me, he's like, John, I got to tell you about this rat. And I'm like, okay. So he's like, so I was out like weeding in the backyard, like making it look all nice. And
which is just what John's dad does all day.
His favorite hobby is just like
making things look nice.
Yard work. And so I guess he saw a rat and he was surprised because it's so hot down there. He thought maybe it was like a mouse, but probably not a full on rat. But he said it was like this big
with the tail,
and its tail was like this big.
Oh shit, that's a rat.
Yeah, he's like, it was a rat. But he said that he like stepped and it was literally right next to his foot, but it didn't move. And so right off the bat, he was like, okay, if this rat was normal, it would like run away. And so he thought that like maybe it was in shock, or it was concussed or something.
He thought he concussed this rat?
No, he didn't think he did it. He just
prior concussed rat.
Yeah, like it was there in shock or something.
Okay.
So he's like, oh, like Karn, which is my mom's name, and he's like throw me a broom. There's a rat here. Throw me the rake or something.
What was he gonna do? Sweep it?
So she threw him this like rake, and he flipped it around so it's just like the wooden end, and he wanted to like scare it away, so he was gonna like hit next to it to get it to run away, but it wouldn't move.
Dude.
He was hitting on the sides and it didn't move, but like he could see it breathing, and so he came to the realization that he thinks that it had eaten like
like a fertilizer.
Yeah, like some fertilizer or some shit, or like anti-weed stuff that probably poisoned it, and it was probably dying. And so he didn't know what to do, and so he didn't want it in the backyard, so he whacks it once. And he said he made like firm contact.
With the pole?
Yeah, with the pole. He whacks it pretty hard, and it kind of makes a noise and is in pain, but it doesnn't move.
That's so sad.
And he was like, at that point,
you gotta just kind of.
I gotta put it out of its misery. And so my mom jumps in, and she said that Steve just whacked this thing fucking like 12 times.
Oh my god!
Because it wouldn't move, but it also wouldn't die. So my dad was just like whacking this rat.
I could just picture it with the bottom of a rake.
With the bottom of a rake,
like the wooden pole.
Yeah,
just like stabbing a rat. Like yeah.
Yeah, from my understanding. And eventually he killed it. Oh my god, and get this, dude. Get this shit. They killed it. But that was like right before they had to leave to go to the airport. And the trash had already been like picked up for the week.
Okay.
Like the trash guy had came the day before. And they don't want to just leave this dead rat like in the house in the garbage because it's going to smell bad. So their alternative was they put it in a garbage bag and put it in the fucking freezer in the garage.
What? They couldn't have found like a random dumpster.
They put it in our freezer.
So there's a rat in your freezer.
There's a dead rat in the freezer in Palm Springs that's just sitting there until next time they go down there.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty
epic.
Imagine like are they thinking about like renting it out like Airbnb? Like imagine someone shows up and there's a dead rat in the freezer.
Yeah, well actually what's funny is that you say that. My buddy Anthony is gonna, so our whole family is gonna go there for for Thanksgiving, and my buddy Anthony goes to school at APU, which is pretty close, like an hour and a half away, and he's not going home for Thanksgiving, so we offered for him to come out and hang out with us down there. But he's gonna get there a day before anyone else gets there.
Have you told him the story?
I haven't told him yet.
You just gotta tell him to open the freezer.
But my dad was like, if he wants some food, like there's like frozen pizzas in that freezer.
Wait, so this isn't like an empty freezer? Like this is a freezer with stuff in it?
Apparently.
What the hell?
But my dad's like, no, but it's in like 3 garbage bags. So it's
triple bagged it.
Yeah. So
triple bagged this dead
so they're
rat.
like, it's not gonna touch anything. But still, just the concept of that is
yeah,
really gross.
I think just the idea of having a dead rat in your freezer makes you not want to eat the food.
Exactly. So I'm like, I gotta tell him at some point because I can't just surprise him with this dead rat.
Or you could just not tell him.
But even a frozen rat probably still smells like rat. You know?
Yeah, I don't know what rats smell like. Okay, I have a little story really quick.
Okay.
My dad told me this about my grandpa. My grandpa's he was a pretty even-keeled person. Like, he's not somebody that would have, like, just exploded on people.
Okay.
Or, whatever.
Not a rage monster.
No. Like, I mean, if you do something, his classic thing was the finger wag. If you got the finger wag, you fucked up. You just look, no. I never got the finger wag.
Oh,
one of my cousins always got the finger wag.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did Karina ever get the finger wag?
I don't think so. We didn't really misbehave much, but one of my cousins did, and he would get the finger wag all the time. Anyways, so my dad told me when they were younger, they grew up like by the Hood Canal, which is just like Puget Sound in Washington, and they were fishing off their boat. And I guess like there's a lot of dogfish there, and I've gone fishing off there, and the dogfish are pretty big, and like they kind of like are known for like kind of fucking up your boat or something, or like your poles or something. I don't know, something. My grandpa hated dogfish for whatever reason. Maybe it messed up their anchor or something, and they caught a dogfish. And my grandpa brings it into the boat, and it was like flopping around, and I think it hit him. My grandpa got so pissed, he starts punching this dogfish. He said my dad said he had never seen more rage in a man's eyes. Then my grandpa was just beating the shit out of this dogfish, like over and over and over, just punching this dogfish until it was just like nothing.
Why?
I don't know.
Couldn't you have just like, it's already gonna die if you just let it flop around?
I don't know. I think
something just
maybe it hit him and something just triggered in his mind that he was just gonna. It was his mission to end this thing's life with his bare hands.
Just the fact that it's called a dogfish is even funnier for some reason.
Yeah, dogfish, they're really ugly though, and they're kind of messed up. Like I hooked one time and it snapped my whole pole in half.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But see, that's kind of goes back to what I'm saying about rat fighting. It's like the uglier the animal, the less people care about it.
Yeah. I guess fishing, I feel less bad about fish than I do about other animals, you know?
I mean, fish are just gross.
I feel like they're kind
scare me.
Dumb. Like they don't have like a personality, you know?
You think a rat has a personality?
More than a fish.
No.
I think it does.
What?
I'd feel less bad.
You think they're like more conscious on the scale of consciousness?
Rats are, I think, yeah.
You think fish are at the bottom of like animal consciousness?
Yeah, they're pretty low.
What about birds, dude?
Birds are really smart.
Yeah, but they suck. Crows.
No, I hate birds. But I don't want to, yeah. Anyways.
Would you rather watch 2 rats fight and kill each other or 2 birds?
What kind of bird?
Crows.
Oh, crow fight? Probably a crow fight.
Yeah.
Because fuck crows.
Yeah, I kind of would want to see them dead, to be honest.
Yeah. Although if you kill a crow, that's bad luck. And they'll find you and kill you.
You see the black cat on the field
last
last night?
That was really sad.
I mean,
it was probably so scared.
I mean, yeah, it was probably scared. And I saw tweets about what's really fucked up is apparently like there's a good chance that they went and took that to like a
humane society
or like a euthanization place where like if they're out in public they'll just take them and go and kill them.
Damn.
I don't know if that happened to that one, but
it's pretty elusive. All right.
Moving on here. My A of the week, Kyle's mom.
Yeah.
Mentioned before, an absolute legend.
Yeah.
She
did everything.
She went through so much
She basically
bullshit
took care of 2 babies for a week.
and very little sleep.
Bunch of doctor appointments.
I'm surprised she didn't get sick, honestly.
Yeah, I'm glad she didn't get sick. Like, I would have rather I probably got sick than her because she just didn't deserve it.
What if she got like strep throat and then an infection?
Oh, that would be so sad.
Yeah. So shout out to Kyle's mom.
Mm-hmm.
We love you. All right, Kyle, who's your F of the week?
Number 1 is me. Just that's obvious.
Yeah, you won that last week and this week.
Back
You're on
to
fire.
back. Yeah, I'm back to back.
Let's see what you can do this week to earn it for next week.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll get in a car crash or something. Okay. My F is this woman who got a tattoo on her eye, and she was blind for 3 weeks.
Like the eyeball.
Like her eyeball. So
she
her,
can see
I guess
now?
her nickname is Blue Eyes White Dragon. So if you know Yu-Gi-Oh, that's like the best card.
Yeah.
And I guess she wanted her eyes to be blue, like blue, I guess.
Oh,
so
so
she
she
got
didn't-
them like ink. She got her eyes penetrated with ink. She said it felt like the tattoo artist grabbed 10 shards of glass and was rubbing it in my eye.
Dude, my tattoo hurt and it was
I
on
know,
my bicep.
Same, yeah.
Imagine it on
Your
your
eye.
fucking eye.
Yeah, that's probably the worst place. Like, I'm thinking like dick tattoo would really hurt, like balls.
But an eye
would
be
be the worst, I think.
Yeah. Damn, dude, that's dedication though. Wait, but she can see now?
I guess.
So it worked. It kind of worked.
Yeah, I don't know what she looks like, but I guess it worked.
I mean, I thought it like she got an actual design, like she got a dragon.
No.
She just got them turned blue.
has a lot of tattoos. She's kind of scary. Oh, all right. She's really scary.
All right. Well, shout out to that lady, I
Yeah.
guess. I got 2 Fs this week. McDonald's CEO. You hear about this?
I think so.
The McDonald's CEO officially steps down after it gets out that he was having a relationship with an employee, which is just classic because out of any place, I would expect McDonald's for that to happen.
Yeah, dude. White CEOs love. I'm guessing this person was probably younger, maybe. and
Yeah,
trying
I
to
don't
advance.
know.
I don't know. I guess I don't know the story, but I'm just watching Goliath. John got me to watch Goliath. If you haven't seen it, it's really good.
It's on Amazon.
But that just reminds me of that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just thought that was so classic. Like out of every company or place, I would expect I could see that happening at Apple, McDonald's, Facebook.
Yeah, Zuckerberg.
Facebook could
weird dude.
He's a
Super
robot.
weird man.
Yeah. All right. Well, my second F of the week is this random guy who has been in prison for a long time. But it turns out that he stuck weed in his nose and then forgot about it until 18 years later.
What?
So this guy was about to get arrested,
How high was he?
and his girlfriend no, I don't even think he was high. What happened was, so he was about to get arrested and his girlfriend gave him, it literally said in the article, as a going away gift when he
Here's
was about to
some
go
weed.
to prison, she gave him a little bag of weed that he could like smuggle in or something. And so before he got arrested, he didn't know what to do with it. So he like tried to snort it or like shove it up his nose and just hide it there. But it went too far to where he couldn't retrieve it. And he thought, his logic was like, he thought that he had just accidentally swallowed it.
Oh, like it went all the way down?
Yeah, but also if you shove something up your nose, how could you swallow it? Does that connect to your like stomach, to your esophagus?
Because like if you think about if you're like sick and you like snort like mucus, it ends up in your throat. You know?
Okay, yeah. So I guess he thought that happened because like he couldn't feel it or see it anymore or anything, and it was this little tiny balloon of weed or something. So he thought that it went in his stomach, and I guess he just thought he shit it out or something. But then over the course of the next 18 years,
18 years.
he got sinus infections all the time, and they didn't know why.
They never got like a face X-ray or like.
Well, eventually, when he got a really bad one 18 years later, they did an X-ray, and they just were shocked. They said there was this balloon-like thing just all the way just jammed up in his like cavity or something.
How was he able to breathe?
I don't know, but they eventually questioned him, and he was like, "Oh, that's right.
That's
like,
my weed."
That's my weed."
So he was in jail for 18 years.
I think he's still in jail.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, did he kill someone?
I don't know what he did, but apparently now he can breathe better. He hasn't got any
good for
sinus
him.
infections.
Thank God. He probably got more time added onto his sentence for smuggling drugs in jail.
So I just thought that was hilarious. All right, Kyle. Could you kill me with? a habanero pepper or habanero peppers?
Yeah, definitely. First of all, I could just make you eat them. Well, I don't know if I could make you. Yeah, I could pry your mouth open, make you eat them over and over and over. There'd be a point where you'd probably die.
Really?
Yeah.
You think you could die from pain, or would it just
Well, I
like
think it might
internally it would just like destroy
burn
my
a hole
stomach?
in your whole body, probably.
Yeah.
If you had like 50, your stomach is gonna open
Yeah.
and stuff spilling out. Eventually you'll get infected and you'll probably die.
Yeah.
So that'll work. I could also
you could like juice them into my eyes.
Yeah, that's how I could
You'd
impair
probably go
you.
blind. Do you think you?
Yeah, probably. You could. If
Yeah.
I got like a whole one in your eye, whoa. Yeah.
I wouldn't be seeing for a while,
No.
and then I'm just way too vulnerable.
Or I go up your nose too, in your
Ooh.
ears. I just take away all your senses.
I don't think that would hurt in your ear, because you
It
could.
wouldn't feel good.
I mean, but like, how could your ear tell the difference between water and habanero?
It could just be like a little experiment just to see what happens. Maybe it
Yeah.
burns a hole in your eardrum.
Yeah.
Uh,
You know, Hot Ones, the show
Mhm.
on YouTube. How hot do you think those are relative to?
eating a
Because
habanero.
when I watch them and I'm trying to think, like, are these people just really mentally strong with insane willpower, or is it not like that hot?
I don't know, because I'm really bad with like buffalo wings make me like runny nose and
Yeah.
like breathing out of my mouth.
But like the 2 times I've eaten a habanero, I've lost it more
Yeah.
than I've ever seen someone on that show like lose
But
their
I think
composure.
eating an actual habanero is harder than like a sauce with
Yeah.
like a wing sauce.
Yeah.
So I'm sure like the worst of the worst is worse than a habanero. Probably.
Damn.
Well, I don't know. Cuz like they're able to kind of talk.
Yeah, like
I wasn't really able to talk.
yeah, I mean I could barely talk, but it's like
I was like,
you
"Ugh,"
can't
like-
think. I wouldn't have been able to answer a question about myself.
Yeah, there's some people that get to that point though.
Yeah.
But maybe they're just some people are good with spicy stuff.
Yeah. With that show, I kind of like I like the show. It's a good show, but I kind of it doesn't do anything for me, the whole spicy stuff. Like I wish it was just an interview. You know? Like I don't like when it gets to I usually skip the end of the videos when it gets to the point where
they
it's
can't talk.
where they can't talk, cuz I'm like this is just kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But
I like
that's
it.
just me. But all right. So you think you could kill me with habaneros?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, John, could you kill me with me? Using myself, could you kill me?
Wait, is there a clone or it's just
No,
you?
like it's just me. You have to use me to kill me.
No, I mean, why you're trying to not die, right?
Yeah.
So I have to somehow manipulate you,
Manipulation is an option probably.
or it could be like I make you do something stupid and you accidentally die. So it's either I make you like
You have to like
turn on
make me
yourself.
fall off a cliff or something.
Yeah.
Like tie my shoelaces together.
I mean, oh, so I physically can't even hurt like touch you.
Well,
'Cause it has
no,
to be
you
you-
could use me, but you could only hit me with me. So you could take my fists and punch me
Yeah.
probably.
I mean, if we're near a body of water, 100%, I can make you drown.
But you'd be pushing me down.
But
You're pushing me. I got to push myself down. That's a psychological one. You got to think about it.
I don't know. Do you think you're mentally weak enough to give in to turn on yourself?
No, probably not.
Probably not. Now, if this was the day of your surgery,
Yeah, oh yeah, it would have been a lot easier.
I think you definitely
But I
like you
also
might
would've
have
been-
you wanted to die at that
but
point.
I also would have been so weak that I don't know that I could have killed had the strength to kill myself, like to punch myself.
But it
or
also
whatever.
wouldn't have taken a lot for you to die.
No, yeah,
you know?
it wouldn't have.
Like someone could throw a paperclip at your forehead and you might be unconscious. So
I was basically unconscious. I was not a real person.
yeah. I don't know. I don't think I could do it.
Okay.
I could try, but I think you'd power through. All right, well, moving on to our last thing, word of the day.
Yeah, this is not probably a word that you'll use really.
But you might. You could
You could.
incorporate it.
There's, I guess, situations. It's troglodyte. Troglodyte. Do you have
Okay.
any guess?
It sounds like a crystal kind of. Like what are those things called that hang in those caves?
Stalagmites. and
Yeah, yeah.
stalactites.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's actually kind of close. You said cave. It's a person who lives in a cave. It's a troglodyte.
Troglodyte.
Yeah. So,
They live in.
but do people live in caves
I
now?
don't know. I've never.
I guess the cavemen were troglodytes, but did the cavemen live in caves?
Yeah, I don't think cavemen ever lived in caves.
I don't know.
They
but
slept
did,
in
they
caves.
Well, that's living in a cave.
I mean, but during the day.
Yeah, but they're not like hanging out. Like they didn't hang out back then. They were out getting food. They didn't have like entertainment.
I
in the
don't
cave.
live in my bedroom. I sleep in my bedroom. You know.
I think yes, but that is your home, not your bedroom, but your house.
Okay.
The cave, maybe there was different cave rooms, but
Okay.
I think they just generally slept in the cave. So I guess they lived in caves.
Yeah.
And they had some artwork in there.
So if you guys ever go hiking and you see a guy in a cave, you can say, "Hey, what's
Say,
up, troglodyte?"
Troglodyte, and he's like, "Yo, what's up?"
Maybe there's a whole community of troglodytes that we don't know about.
I'm sure there actually is.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Cool. Well, anyways, with that, we're going to wrap it up.
I'm gonna take my suit off.
And the most important thing of this whole episode is that we are currently at 49 reviews on Apple Podcasts. We need literally one more.
So one of you be that person.
So if you're listening and you haven't left a review, just go to the Apple Podcast app. It's on every single iPhone or iDevice. Just search Peak to Middle School. Go down, rate 5 stars, write something nice. Bam. Then this
Boom.
video will be posted on the Peak to Middle School YouTube that we've been saving for like 8 months.
Yep.
You guys will be excited for it. So with all that being said, Kyle, where can they follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at Kyle Stafford 36. You can follow the podcast at Pim's Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
Yeah.
If that's something you're interested in. I'm not interested in it, but some of you guys have come from TikTok, so
Yeah.
shout out to you guys. That's all I have, John.
You can follow me at Hey Narwhal on Twitter and Instagram. You can also subscribe to my personal YouTube channel called The Narwhal. There are new episodes of Peak to Middle School every single Monday and Thursday. So if you guys are new here and you want a consistent show to just grind a bunch of episodes, and like the thing that I like about our schedule as opposed to other podcasts is a lot of podcasts, well, not, I guess it depends, but a lot of them are once a week. And it's great. I look forward to the once a week podcast, but it's like I'll listen to it Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it's like nothing.
Yeah, then I don't have anything the rest of the week to get me through my day to day.
Yeah.
But see,
We got you twice.
Yeah, we got the middle. So Monday morning, you get your fix, and then Thursday, you get another fix. So we're just fueling your addiction.
Yeah. Of us.
Yeah.
I hope no one's addicted to us, though. Like, that's a really bad addiction.
I mean, yeah.
Like, we don't offer much.
Yeah. You're not gaining a lot from this podcast,
No.
to be honest.
You might laugh.
Which is good.
Which is good. Unless it hurts to laugh, like it hurt me to laugh.
There's kind of moods, though. There's times when I'll want to listen to podcasts that I learn things and I actually gain insight. But then there's times when it's just like, I don't want that.
Yeah,
It's
you
too
just
much.
need some mindless, dumb entertainment.
Yeah.
And that's where we come in.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for all the support recently. It's been really exciting. We had 821 downloads last month. We're already on pace to break that this month. So it's pretty exciting. So be sure to tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma. And with all that being said, we will see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.